everyone, today I'm going to be doing another palette review. I've been reviewing quite a few palettes lately and I hope y'all enjoy that. I think that product reviews are probably some of the most helpful videos because I can really go in depth about a certain product and tell you all of my opinions, give you specific swatches, talk about it, all of that. So I am going to link my whole product review playlist down below in case there are some things that you would like me to review. You can go ahead and check there and see if I've already talked about it. And if not, let me know because I would love some more recommendations. But today we're going to talk about the Too Faced Smoky Eye Palette. Now this is kind of a typical Too Faced palette. They make quite a few this way. They are $36, which for 9 shadows really isn't too bad. And it does come in this cardboard packaging. They are kind of, I don't know if they're trying to switch all of their palettes over. I'm not aware of that. But they do now come out with some that are more metallic or more metal. So this is their Sugar Pop palette, which is still available. I have reviewed this. It's in that playlist. But it's got metal packaging. So this is cardboard though. And it's actually pretty thin. I think, are they the same? The metal is slightly thinner, but it's still pretty thin and compact. This cardboard does feel really nice. I would feel very safe packing this and, you know, traveling with it. I don't feel like you're gonna like break anything, at least probably not. And that kind of goes, there is not a mirror, which I guess because it is cardboard, they figure the mirror would likely be broken. However, I do find that when I'm using this palette, I always am like, I have to pull something else out to like actually apply my shadows. So that is one slight negative, but I don't feel like it's super large. It's, you know, slightly larger than my palm. But it's not ridiculously large. I think it's travel friendly. So now let's get into the shadows. Again, this is the Smoky Eye Palette. Much like the typical Too Faced design, they have 3 larger shadows, which are 2 grams a piece. And then they have 6 smaller shadows, which are 0.9 grams each. So that, I feel like that's pretty good, personally. I don't know about you. And this is, again, like I've said many times, it's the Smoky Eye Palette. So you can look and see that it's a very dark palette. So I'm just going to swatch in the rows. So they have, this is your daytime look, and I'm actually using that today. And then they have your classic look, and then your fashion look. That's kind of how they divide it up. So first we have this Firefly shade, which is a very cool toned, kind of taupey shade. It's very similar to my skin tone. It does have, I wouldn't really even call, can y'all even see that? It's right here. It's got like a satiny kind of finish. It is what's on my lid today. So that one, I hope y'all can see that. I feel like you really can't. But it's decently pigmented. It's just very similar to my skin tone. Then we have Cloves, which is another, this one's more metallic, and it's kind of a coppery shade. It's pretty, I would say it's pretty neutral. So it's right there. Again, here. And I really like that shade. I think it's very easy to use. I did put it kind of in my outer corner today. I think it's like a good depth. It's pretty dark, but it's not like black to where it's really hard to use. I do find that these shadows blend out quite nicely as well. And then I have the shade Up in Smoke, which is a matte, deep brown. But this is really a cool tone brown. Look at that pigmentation. I just think Too Faced shadows are so good. I have 4 Too Faced palettes, 3 like this, and then 1 holiday palette, and I'm always really happy with it. So then we're going to get into the classic look, and we've got a really pretty shimmery white shade. This is what is on my inner corner and on my brow bone for today. I feel like you need a good highlight, especially, and you see how nicely it catches the light. It is white. I think it's got good pigmentation. It's not like a stark white, but it really just catches the light nicely and is very shimmery. But there's not like chunky glitter. None of these shades have like real defined chunky glitter. They're just a shimmery finish. And that Clove shade is really metallic. Again, it's that one. Next we have the shade Nice Ash, which is a charcoaly gray kind of shade. Really pretty. Again, they just blend out so nicely. This one is a satin. It's not matte, but it's is kind of leaning towards a matte. It's a nice satin color. I think, again, it's got a lot of depth to it, but it's not too dark. Then you have your darkest shade in the palette, which is Smokin' Hot, which is a matte black. I did put some of this on my outer corner today. So here it is. I hope y'all can appreciate that although the black is the top, which is up in Smokin' Hot, the bottom is Up in Smoke. And although this Up in Smoke is a brown and Smokin' Hot is a black, they're very similar in tone. And I just don't know if you needed both of them. Because I feel like, even though you can kind of sort of discern a difference on the eyes, I really don't think you can tell the difference between those two. And now we're going to go into our fashion row. This shade, can y'all hear that? The laundry room is right there. And so people drive their cars up, and I think that was someone's car. This is my favorite shade in the palette by far. Look at that silver. I used this on my lid one day, and I was just obsessed with the look. It is kind of a darker silver, though, but it's just beautiful, metallic. You can see how well that catches the light. It's just a gorgeous shade. By far, the best shade in the palette, in my opinion. I have compared it to the silvers in the Lorac Pro, and it's very similar, although it's slightly lighter. And then also what was previously my favorite silver, which, here it is the Metallica from the Balm Jovi palette, or the Balm Rockstar Balm Jovi palette, this one. And it's much darker than Metallica. I'll swatch that one. And see, swatching on your knuckles is just really never a good idea. You see how it's darker, but it's got that similar sheen. And if I'm being honest, I think I even like In a Flash better. I think it's my new favorite silver eyeshadow. It's so pigmented. It's so easy to work with. It's just beautiful. Then you have the shade Smoking Jacket, which is soft, noticeably softer and more powdery than the other shadows in this. All of the shadows are soft, but they don't create a lot of powder, but this one kind of does. This is a deep, shiny purple. Although, again, it's really, really more of a satin, much like that nice ash shade. Say that 3 times fast. It's not super metallic like Cloves down here, but it is definitely a purple. It's a deeper purple, but it doesn't lose its tone, if that makes sense. It doesn't look black. So there it is. And last is Smolder, which is a matte navy shade. Isn't that pretty? I like that. I think that this really does stay pretty true to its naviness. I don't feel like it ends up looking black. I wonder, I didn't think about it. So I also have the Too Faced Matte Eye Palette. I've done, again, a review of this as well. It'll be in that playlist. I wonder how Smolder compares to London Fog, which is this shade, which is another matte navy by Too Faced. So, Smolder, London Fog. Okay, so London Fog is slightly lighter. So London Fog is on top. It's slightly lighter. Oh wait, that's actually Smolder. I'm sorry. Smolder is slightly lighter than London Fog. London Fog is really coming off more black than navy. So, sorry, I just thought about that. All in all, I like this palette. I think the quality of the shadows you can't beat. I just think Too Faced has amazing shadows. I know Urban Decay is really known for their shadows, and I now have 3 of their palettes, and I do really enjoy using them, but I just think Too Faced quality is so great. I know that some people say they're hit and miss. I have 4 palettes, and I haven't found that. I think every single one of the shades in each of these palettes, and specifically this one, I think each one is a home run. My only complaint is that these 2 are very similar. The only issue I have with this palette is it's kind of a one-note palette. Yes, you can do, it's a smoky eye palette, and I guess that's what you should assume. But I just feel like I look at this, and although that silver is beautiful, and this navy is really unique, and this purple is great, and this Cloves shade, it's gorgeous. It's got, I mean, like, look at that. It's just got such a cool tone to it. I'm not inspired. I don't look at this palette and figure out 17 different looks with it, just because it's very dark and it's very, like I said, it's kind of a one-note palette. And I feel like I have to bring things in. Today, I just used this palette, but I don't feel like, I really like to have a matte blending shade that's similar to my skin tone. So if I'm using this palette, this is the Mad Eye palette, I use this Tufted Suede shade, and I just like it to blend out all of my shadows. You don't have anything like that with this. You could say that Firefly is the most similar, but it's a very shimmery shade. I do like this palette. I don't want you to think I'm telling you not to get it, but it's not very day appropriate, even for someone like me who will rock a hot pink eyeshadow look in the middle of the day because it can. You know, it's not super day appropriate, and it's hard for me to come up with looks. That doesn't say anything negative to the quality of this. I think it's a beautiful palette. So just look at the shades. If you get this, if these are the shades that you use, then you will not be disappointed. I really don't think so. I think that you will look at that, you will have this palette and think, wow, I'm so glad I got it. These shades are beautiful. If you don't reach for these darker shades very often, which I'm finding that although I like a lot of color, I don't reach for very dark shades that often, you might not get as much use out of this palette. So I hope you found that helpful. All in all, great quality, beautiful shades. I really, really do like this palette. I just wish there's a little more variety. I think that this is almost like a companion palette. Not like, oh, you're going to reach for this for some, you know, like for some transitions or something. But if you wanted to deepen up a look, this could be, excuse me, this would be a great go-to. If you want a beautiful silver lid shade, this In a Flash, okay, I'm not going to say that this one In a Flash shade is worth $36, but it's beautiful. So, again, one last look at that palette. There we go. That's very true to color. They're beautiful shades, beautiful quality. Just before you buy it, make sure that you're going to use these shadows. So, I really, really hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have anything else that you want to review or any other questions, requests, suggestions, comments, any of that. I love talking to you. It's my favorite part about doing YouTube, to be totally honest. And thank you for watching. It means the absolute world to me. I do mean that when I say it. I just love YouTube. It makes me really happy. So I will see y'all real soon. Bye.